each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Old School with DP and J.
Very small percentage of players, coaches, administrators thinking like, I'm planting my flag here. Nick Saban's run probably won't happen. It takes a very unique person and personality to be comfortable where you are, be strong enough to push to get what you need, and then also be very strong enough in a player's standpoint to advocate for yourself at the right time.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is the Happy Hour.
You guys want a happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I am a huge guy.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are the New York Knicks. 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 Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. We're back on track.
Necessary.
I should have known this was coming.
Necessary.
I should have known this was coming. Why was I taken off guard by this? That's on me.
Necessary. Welcome into the Happy Hour here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. We're not in New York, but I want to party like I was in New York. I am Rico, joined by Austin Orman. Austin, how are you doing today?
You know, Rico, I'm good. I'm fired up, and I can kind of put my finger on why, but I don't exactly know why. So I'm just gonna try to stay locked, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got to keep it on the rails today. It's 5 hours, 4.5 hours till the weekend, and I got to keep it on the rails. So that's a problem since you and I are in here together. Those are the shows that go off the rails most often.
Staying on the rails, that's
great.
not going to happen. Congratulations. Fun. As Austin just said, congratulations, everybody. You made it to the weekend. We're here. It's Friday. You're so close to the weekend. Just hold out for a little bit longer. Listen to me and Austin for a little bit.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like the NBA, we're going to talk a little NBA. I'm sorry about it. I'm really not sorry about it because New York Knicks won. They're moving on to the second round for the second time. Back-to-back years moving on to the second round for the first time in quite some time. And I'm happy about it. I am ecstatic if you can't tell. You guys should join in on the conversation. 402-464-5685, Honda of Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line. And please join us on the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter/X, and Allo Channel 961, which goes statewide. And you could join in on the fun, and you can talk about your favorite NBA playoff memories so far, because these playoffs have been electric. I don't care what anybody says. These for how boring the season was for some people, wasn't boring for me. For how boring the season was for some people, these playoffs, I think they've made up for a lot of it.
I really didn't think the season was all that boring. I mean, the East was decided about 2.5 months ago with the way Boston was playing.
The East was decided 4 weeks into the season.
That part. But the West had drama all the way to the end. I mean, I think it was the top four, or no, starting at the 4 seed. I think that the difference between the 4 seed and the 7 seed in the play-in was like 2 games. So it came down to tiebreakers. There were a lot of good teams, a lot of drama, a lot of ups, a lot of downs. And yeah, Boston took care of business, but they even had a scare, because Miami got one, and Jimmy's saying, don't let us get hot again.
Don't let me get one. Don't let me get one.
Cleveland, Orlando does not deserve to be relegated to NBA TV. It just doesn't.
That one's actually pretty good. And Orlando's a fun team.
They are. I'm a big Paulo Banchero guy. I think he's the next potential face of the NBA.
That's weird.
I know. I can't put my finger again on exactly why that would be.
I really thought you'd be a big Cole Anthony guy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, just his bloodlines, man. But that series is great. Dallas and the Clippers has been pretty good.
That is a Luka Doncic in the playoffs is a different. They had this commercial going on that like playoff whoever isn't a thing. Playoff. Like Luka kind of does it all, but playoff Luka, I mean, he's currently in his, short amount of time being in the NBA is second all time in playoff points per game.
Yeah.
The dude just knows how to get a bucket in the playoffs. And he's doing his best, although he has Kyrie Irving with him, was doing his best to be like his hero, Dirk Nowitzki, and be the best player, the lone all-star on a team, and drag them through the playoffs. Now he has Kyrie Irving with him, who just adds another level of excitement to the Dallas Mavericks. But
And Derek Lively, most important player on that team.
Derek Lively, as Austin says, the most important player on that team.
Also better than Mitch Robinson, but what do I know?
That's not true. Mitchell Robinson. It's just not true. There was an important moment in that game, in the Knicks Sixers game. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to this. There was an important moment in that game where Mitch Robinson checks in for Isaiah Hartenstein, who couldn't do diddly poo to slow down Joel Embiid defensively. Mitch Robinson gets in the game, is denying the ball to Joel Embiid for 10 seconds. And then Joel Embiid tries to spin off him, puts a forearm in Mitch's face and pushes him away, gets called for an offensive foul. That was in the third. That was about 3 minutes left in the third quarter. After that point, Joel Embiid only scored 6 points the rest of the game.
Sheesh.
6 points.
That's pretty good.
Joel Embiid in the fourth quarter in this series, garbage.
That's pretty good.
Garbanzo beans. That's what he was.
That's a job well done by Hartenstein. Also, did you know he got dunked on?
Joel Embiid? Yeah. By OG Anunoby.
Did you know that? I didn't know if you knew that.
Shout out to Indiana. OG Anunoby. The Knicks are 25-6 since trading for OG Anunoby when he plays. I'm just saying.
They lost back-to-back games how many times with him?
0 times losing back-to-back games with OG Anunoby. Josh Hart, the heart and soul of that team. Jalen Brunson, the machine that makes it all go. Dante, the big ragu DiVincenzo.
Big
ragu. I kept calling him that. And Rachel goes, he doesn't look that big. I go, he's not that big, but he's the big ragu.
That's his nickname. That is literally the nickname.
It was just a beautiful.
It's who he is.
It was a beautiful night, even though the Knicks, gave me heart palpitations once again.
They're good at that, aren't they?
This whole series.
Well, Nick Nurse had that quote, like, Brunson goes off for 47. It's going to come down to the last minute. Embiid scores 50. It's coming down to the last minute.
Exactly.
I just told myself it's going to be a close game.
It's like, why? Why? If you look, okay, so somebody did the point comparisons, point for point, whatever. If you take how many points the Knicks scored, how many points the Sixers scored in this entire series, the Knicks won the series by 1 point. What? Derek Lively's not better than Mitchell Robinson. Is that from this season?
That's from this season.
Guess what? Mitch missed like half the season.
Guess who didn't miss like half the season? Guess who's playing through his mom dying?
Don't do that. He had to get ankle surgery.
Guess who didn't have to get ankle surgery?
Well, good for him. I can't say anything. Like, rest in peace to Derek Lively's mom.
He had a really interesting, I'm a big Derek Lively guy, obviously. Fascinating story. So his dad, who they called Big Derek, who was actually not the biggest Derek, he was still like 6'6" or 6'7", was a drug addict.
Okay.
Ended up dying of an overdose. I think it was cocaine or heroin or something like that.
Okay.
So that wasn't great. So Derek Lively's mom basically just raised him solo. And then just at the end of the year, passed away from cancer. And here's Derek Lively in his first season in the NBA. He's not even 20 years old yet. And he's starting for a team that's a win away from the Western semis.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I still don't like Dallas, but
so not only do I
all the
appreciate Derek Lively and respect his game, one hell of a story.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All the love and support to Derek Lively, although I still don't like Dallas. So
yeah.
But it's okay. I think there's only 2 matchups that have yet to be decided, and that is Dallas and the Clippers and Orlando and Cleveland, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Both going to game 6s.
Yes.
Game 6 tonight.
Should be.
So there is a chance that all of the first round could be decided tonight if Dallas can get the win over the Clippers, and if I believe it's Cleveland has the advantage over Orlando. I think they're up 3-2.
Yep. Make your picks. Who wins? Do we get any game 7s?
Honestly, the one that I hope happens is the Dallas Clippers game 7. I hope that one happens so then we can see Luka go off for like 60 in a game 7. I do think that Cleveland takes care of it. It doesn't really, Cleveland or Orlando doesn't matter. It's just who's going to lose to Boston in 5. Like, that's really all that is. And the other one is who's going to push OKC to 6. That's all that one is. I don't see the Clippers or the Mavs beating OKC.
You can't see Luka
I
giving
can't.
Lou Dort that work.
I cannot.
See, I can. I think Cleveland, Orlando go 7. I think the Mavs get it done tonight.
Okay.
I'm not just saying that because Strick's my partner. I promise.
Strick would be very happy with that if that did happen.
Strick would be. Strick's probably going.
But
if
he's
that
also ecstatic that Boston moved on.
True. But he also played for both the Pacers and the Bucks. And one of them lost and one of them won.
He also played for the Knicks, though.
He did. Oh, boy.
Who's he rooting for? He's probably rooting for the Pacers.
Okay, so no, Stricky has done this before. Let me rack my brain here.
Okay,
So he roots for the Mavs first.
Enter the mind of Stricky. Be careful. It's a dangerous place.
I don't want to get too far down the rabbit hole. Obviously Dallas. And then I think it's New York and then Boston. I'm pretty sure. In his rooting interests?
In his favorites?
His rooting interests.
No, he likes Boston more.
Does he?
Yeah, he said Boston was like the most fun he's had.
Okay, so that's Dallas, Boston, New York.
Yeah, definitely Dallas and Boston are top two. I probably Dallas
and
is
then
probably one.
then the Knicks.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Dallas, Boston.
Vancouver's at the bottom and everything.
Yeah,
else
Vancouver's not
really
even.
matter.
Vancouver's not even close. Like if it's a top 10 rankings or whatever, Vancouver's like 27th. Like they're gone. They're not even. Although they did have probably the best colors and probably the best uniforms.
See,
and at the time they were terrible, but now you look back, you're like, those are actually kind of cool. I got the hat.
And see, I just disagree. Where I think a lot of the nostalgia. Well, I didn't grow up a big NBA guy. I had the KG Minnesota jersey. It was the blue. I had the Vince Carter Raptors. I had the black and gold Allen Iverson Sixers jerseys. And like I appreciate those, but like Vancouver, I can take it or leave it. Or like the old Pistons horse logo. I'm out on that one. Even like I grew up with the Navy Jazz. Andre Kirilenko, Mehmet Okur, Darren Williams. And see, that to me is the Jazz colors. Like I'm not a fan of the purple mountain Jazz stuff. You know, like I get that there's an era of people who that's the Jazz. It's just not me.
See, I was like the tail end of that. And then I grew up with the Andre Kirilenko, that like navy blue Jazz.
Yeah.
But if you throw me that weird lightish dark, like that medium purple with the mountains on it, I'll take that every time. I'll take that every time. It's along with the Pistons, the like teal blue with the horse and the fire coming. Like I'll take that every time. The black Sixers that AI wore, I'm take like those ones. I was on the tail end of all of those, but those are the ones that I remember the most. The Phoenix Suns, the Steve Nash Phoenix Suns jerseys.
Yeah, that's
fire.
Proper. Those are proper. Old Suns, take or leave. Early 2000s Warriors, not a fan of. I like their...
The Baron Davis Warriors?
Yeah, don't like those jerseys.
I'm okay with them.
Are they the Baron Davis Warriors or the Monte Ellis Warriors? That's the real question.
Baron was first.
Baron was first.
Monte Ellis was cold, though.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to think what else.
Just imagine.
I like that Boston hasn't really changed.
I don't care about Boston. They had a choice between Monte and Steph, and they chose correctly.
They sure as heck did.
I remember being upset when they traded Monte Ellis.
Am I weird for thinking I like the Dwight Howard, JJ Redick era Magic jerseys the best of any of them?
No, because that was the Hito Turkoglu Magic.
Yeah.
I don't respect either of the... well, I do respect the other two, but Hito Turkoglu... It was
Why don't you respect Dwight Howard?
It was Hito and Jameer. I don't care what anybody else.
Jameer. Wasn't DJ Augustin on those teams?
He was. He was right at the end of those teams.
Yeah.
That was a fun Magic team.
Yeah.
That Magic team was the reason that LeBron left Cleveland. Not really, but I'm gonna blame them.
Meh.
That Magic team went to the finals.
Also, here's maybe my hottest uniform take. I do not like the Miami Vice stuff.
You just don't like fun.
I do not. It is correct.
You're just not a fun guy.
Yep.
On that note, we're gonna head to a break. When we come back, it'll be Austin solo for a bit. Rico has to go tend to some business. I will be back. I believe I will be back. But coming up on the happy hour, it's going to be Austin and Ben. And they're going to be talking about
young Ben,
a certain wide receiver weapon that is making his way down to South Beach to join up with Tua Tagovailoa and potentially be one of Jake Sorensen's new favorite wide receivers. But they'll talk about that because Ben's also a Miami fan for whatever
Mhm.
reason. I don't know why we have so many of them here. But we'll be right back. You listen to Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Sick of being upsold at gyms?
My guy, you're currently a base member. For $90 more, I can upgrade you to our Shred membership. For $130 more, you'll be a Swole member. And for just $300 more, you'll reach Sweat Platinum.
At Planet Fitness, you'll get energy without the upsell. Never pushy, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. It's fitness that fits your budget. Join Planet Fitness for just $1 down and $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, May 10th. See Home Club for details.
Buckle up and hang on. This is going to be a good one.
The fans of Kansas Speedway know how to have a good time. One that celebrates fantastic finishes and family-friendly facilities. Trading paint.
We got feuding
and tailgating tradition. Burnouts, beer, and barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time, and you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 4th and 5th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Spring in Nebraska brings green grass and warmer weather, but it also brings severe storms which can cause damage to your home. Meadowlark Exterior specializes in hail, storm, and wind damage restoration, as well as roofing, siding, and gutters for commercial or residential buildings. Meadowlark Exteriors focuses on fine craftsmanship and proves that in their attention to detail. They offer free roof inspections and estimates and insurance claim assistance, serving the Lincoln and Omaha surrounding areas. Call today at 402-875-2956 or go to meadowlarkexteriors.com.
Are you ready to take your seating season to the next level? Now's your chance with Landmark Implement's early order program. Don't miss out on the best deals of the season on new John Deere air seeders and drills, including the N500C Central Commodity System. Experience the ease of operation with the new N500C's intuitive design, simplifying your seeding process and saving you valuable time in the field. Lock in the largest cash discount, snag the best financing rate, and ensure availability on a new drill. Contact your local Landmark location for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
High schoolers, unleash your creativity and learn about potential careers in broadcasting at the Digital Expressions Media Camp. Have fun, make friends, and get hands-on experience with video and radio production June 9th through the 14th at the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Scholarships are available from the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and spots are limited. Learn more at digitalexpressionscamp.com. That's digitalexpressionscamp.com.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
You guys talk about songs that you love. Is there a song that you absolutely loathe in this world?
Oh, there is, and I can't think of them right.
I'm just picking Ozzy Osbourne song.
I despise with all my being Benny and the Jets by Elton John. I hate that song. Jersey Mike's or Chick-fil-A.
Chick is good. Jersey Mike's, I'm going to say it'd be 90.
Come on,
90.
Bill.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Mike Minner. What's up, bro?
When you look at Dylan, you're looking at quarterbacks that kind of come around once every 20 years. And this is a kid I'm looking at, I don't know how old he is, 17, 18 years old. And he is already directing things that 17, 18-year-old kids should not even know. Changing the line protection. Okay, guys, I don't know what we've been 2 weeks of practice. Come on, man. Well, we got guys in the National Football League that can't do that.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
This isn't the real Caesar's Palace, is it?
What do you mean?
Did Caesar live here?
No.
I didn't think so.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com, brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting. Check them out for everything that you could need for your new fence or to repair your fence at empirefence.com. I'm Austin Norman. To my right, Young Ben, only Ben.
Young Ben.
Young Ben. Welcome
Jake.
to Daytimes, Ben.
What's up?
Glad to have you. And since you're here, we will make this your segment. Go nuts here for a while.
I'll do it.
First of all, text line 402-464-5685. Fourth person to say hi, Young Ben, on the text line. 2 free passes to Eagle Raceway, good all year.
Ooh.
How about that? 2 free passes, Eagle Raceway. Fourth person to say hi, Young Ben, on the text line.
Say hi to me.
Please do. Your Dolphins.
Yes,
Jake
sir.
Sorensen's Dolphins. Don Shula's Dolphins.
Our
Larry
Dolphins.
Zonka's Dolphins.
Yep.
Signed a wide receiver, Odell Beckham Jr. Did not necessarily see that one coming. I tend to like that for him as a better fit than even like a Baltimore because he doesn't have to be the first option, right?
Yeah.
In Baltimore, he wasn't the first with Zay Flowers emerging, even Rashad Bateman there and Mark Andrews. But I think there was more put on his plate in Baltimore than there will be in Miami. Now, of course, the knock on Odell, the party lifestyle, right? You think about the yacht that he got on after that one season with the Giants. He goes down to Miami. Your initial reaction to OBJ to Miami?
Well, I've seen reaction from Dolphins Twitter, and they're kind of going crazy. They're way more enthusiastic about it than me. I think it's a good pickup. I don't know if it's worth $8 million, but I mean, he'll play. He'll be solid. He'll be a key contributor. I'm just not. He's not going to be like a thing that puts him over the top, though, at all. Like, this team still has a lot of holes. And wide receiver was not one of them. So it's interesting that they decided to spend $8 million on the wide receiver position, but it's flashy. It's a name. Not surprised that they did it.
I'm trying to look up the Dolphins cap numbers right now.
It's going to be a mess next year. It's going to be a mess.
Right. Okay. So this is, I believe, before the Odell Beckham Jr. signing. Yeah, I'm not seeing him here. So before the Odell Beckham Jr. signing, the Dolphins for the 2024-25 season had $2.9 million in cap space.
So they're going to have to
free
something.
Someone is getting their deal reworked. Someone is getting released. Guess what? The biggest salaries on the Dolphins: Tyreek Hill, Tua Tagovailoa, and now Odell Beckham Jr. Young Ben, those are the only guys making more than Odell Beckham Jr. will. Even Bradley Chubb is only making $6 million in base salary.
This is why that's just very weird to me because it's $8 million. I don't think I read that wrong. Like
no, 8.25. 8.25.
That's just like, I don't know. It seems like a little bit of overpay for a guy that's way past his prime. He still has stuff to give to a team, but like this isn't Odell from when he was making the one-handed catch in the end zone against the Cowboys.
It absolutely was not that same guy. But here's the thing: played in 14 games for Baltimore last year, started 6 of them. Caught 35 of his 64 targets. That's a little lower percentage than I would have thought, but also had the most yards per reception of his career. He averaged 16 yards per catch His previous career high was back his second year in 2015 when he averaged 15.1 yards. Now he only had 565 yards, only reeled in 3 touchdowns, which is tied for a career low. But I'm with you. I mean, even if he just puts up 40 yards per game for Miami, if he's the third option, he wasn't bad last year. You probably want him on closer to a $4 million deal, unless you think that you're going to use him to sell tickets, and you can recoup some of that, I think, in some of the marketing end of things.
And see, another thing that was surprising to me was this was not even the most money he was offered by a team. He turned down other offers that were bigger. That were some of the reports the bigger national media was saying. So that's very interesting. I wonder what team was throwing money at him. Because at that point, I mean, it had to bet like at least 10 million if they're offering more. Like, that just seems like a lot.
And I wonder what the quarterback situation for those teams is too, because I don't want to hate on Tua. I don't want to bash him. I think he's a solid enough quarterback, but there's also better out there.
He's top 10. He's top 10.
Defend yourself on that one, please, because I'm not buying it.
You're not buying it?
No.
Okay, if you look at pure statistics, he's easily a top 10 quarterback.
Okay.
Now, if you do the eye test, I still think he is. Like, he's around the rec. Okay, let me ask you this, because this has been a question I've been asked before. Kirk Cousins or Tua? Who do you think is better there? Because a lot of people see Kirk Cousins as almost not quite top 10, but like, around there. And if Tua is better, I feel like he's a top 10. I do think there's a big jump down from like, the top 3 or 4 to that, but he's still top 10 in my opinion.
See, that's tough because I like Tua because he's younger. He's just as banged up, if not more banged up than even Kirk, because Kirk's been decently durable until the Achilles.
Yeah, I think
Tua's concussion thing and the back thing scares me.
I mean, he had a healthy season this last year, though, so that kind of relieved some of that for me.
So the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL.
I can start naming guys.
It's Mahomes, Allen, Lamar,
Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow. You got to put those. Those are probably top 5.
Burrow is there. Rodgers, we'll see. Herbert is in that conversation. Lawrence is in that conversation. I'll throw CJ Stroud in that conversation. He was balling last year.
I think I maybe want to give him one more year before I do that, but he's definitely in the conversation. See,
Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott, Tua Tagovailoa. I still think I like Stafford more than Tua.
Really?
I do think I like Stafford more than Tua.
Wow.
All right. So
if you put Tua on that Rams team, they would have done just as good.
So Tua last year, 18 games, 68% completion, 4,800 yards, 8.1 per attempt, which I'm sure led the league with those deep threats. 30 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Kirk Cousins in 8 games, 70% completion, 2,300 yards, 7.5 yards per attempt, which is actually not that far behind Tua. 18-5 touchdown to interception ratio, and half the fumbles.
Tua led the league in passing yards, by the way, as well.
Right.
Then again, he does have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, but still.
See, there's even an argument for like, is Jordan Love creeping his way into that conversation?
I mean, yeah.
Is Jalen Hurts up there? I don't know.
Jalen Hurts is the name I forgot. I feel like Jordan Love is closer to Tua than Matthew Stafford at this point in their careers.
Stafford still got it. Stafford still got the fastball, man. Stafford was ripping that thing for the Rams as they went on their run. Which, speaking of, remember what happened the last time Jalen Ramsey and Odell Beckham Jr. teamed up?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Text line says if you give Stafford Tyreek Hill, they would have won the Super Bowl. But he has Cooper Kupp. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I'd rather have Tyreek Hill, but still, like Cooper Kupp is right there.
Well, it's would you rather have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and OBJ or Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, and Tyler Higbee?
Yeah,
right?
Higbee's probably the third guy.
Is Allen Robinson still there, still around?
No, I think he's on the Steelers.
That's right.
He's on the Steelers.
That's right.
He's long gone from the Rams.
Big Slim disagree. He says OBJ has been overrated since LSU. Now, here's the thing.
I disagree.
OBJ was a stud, deserving offensive rookie of the year in 2014. 91 catches, 1,300 yards, led the NFL with 109 yards per game. The next year, ended up 96 catches, 1,450 yards, upped his receptions, upped his yards per reception, caught another touchdown, converted more first downs. Slightly fewer yards per game, but again, being targeted a lot by that offense. Second team All-Pro the next year as well, leading the league in yards per touch when he still had 10 touchdowns on 101 catches and 1,300 yards. Then he got hurt, remember? Played only 4 games, started 2 of them in 2017. Had a pretty nice bounce back next couple of years. In New York, he still caught over 70 passes for 1,000 yards, over 70 for 1,000 again. 2020 fell off quite a bit. 2021 was the trade from Cleveland to the Rams, which definitely worked out for him, but his numbers were really not that great across the board. And then, remember, he sat 2022 out. And this is why I can't completely give up on Odell Beckham Jr., because we've seen this all the time, Ben, mostly in baseball, right? Where guys will get injured, they'll have to miss a year, and then they'll come back rejuvenated, ready to go. Odell Beckham Jr. had a lot put on his plate, was banged up, nicked up quite a bit, over these last handful of years. So for him to take 2022 off, be able to play 14 out of 17 games with Baltimore, I still think there's a useful player in there. He's not going to be a top 15, top 20 receiver in the league, but he can be a solid third down guy, a solid third or fourth option for them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's going to have a role on this team. It's not going to be the same thing as when they picked up, I forgot what he changed his first name to, but
Robbie Anderson? Chosen?
Yeah, Chosen. There you go. I remember that pickup. Like, there are some people were excited about that. I was like, he's not going to do anything on the Dolphins. No. Odell, they wouldn't have given him $8 million if they didn't see a role for him in this offense.
Right.
Like, they just wouldn't. Like, he's gonna have a role if he can stay healthy, which I think he's been pretty healthy ever since he took that year off. So I agree with that.
Better signing, however you judge it. Dolphins getting OBJ or the Cowboys bringing Zeke back?
Man. Well, the Cowboys probably paying Zeke way less. So I mean, I have to put that into the equation because there's no way they're paying him $8 million this year.
He is a running back. He's 28.
I guarantee you they're not paying him $8 million.
His contract has $1 million in incentives. Zeke's does. Just had it. Where'd it go? $3 million deal for Zeke Elliott, $2 million guaranteed.
Okay. So I mean, he's getting paid less. So I have to put that in the equation. I mean, I feel like Odell is probably gonna have a bigger role, but
I disagree.
Really?
I don't think the Cowboys liked what they got out of Tony Pollard. That's why I think they're bringing Zeke back.
But like,
so I think that's a legit timeshare, and Odell is at best the third option on that team.
But like, how productive is Zeke even gonna be though? Like, he's 28.
Zeke's gonna run for 700 yards. I feel confident in that.
I just don't know how much he has left in the tank, man.
I mean, he's only 28. Like, yeah, he's been in the league for 8 years, but he's still only 28.
When's the last time he had a actually like statistically productive season? Like, not like
Zeke
just putting up empty numbers
for
just, like yards per carry, like actually having explosiveness.
Last time he averaged over 4 yards per carry was 2021, which was the last time he went over 1,000 yards. 2022, he averaged 3.8 yards per carry. Last year 3.5, but man, I really think he's going to be rejuvenated in Dallas because I don't think anyone had any chance to succeed in that New England offense.
No,
it was a problem.
I'm not gonna put that against him. I mean, Patriots offense, that's just always a committee for the running backs, and that offense is just not good. It's just not good. Sorry, I'm a Dolphins fan, so I don't like Patriots. But even like anybody just watches the Patriots know that offense is not good. But he'll definitely have a role. I just don't. If I would have I feel like Odell will make a bigger change to the offense for the Dolphins than Zeke will. I mean, Zeke is going to add like a goal line threat, though. I don't know. This is tough. That's tough because Zeke will have a specific role on this Cowboys team. Yeah. Odell, like if Odell would just get hurt week 1, it wouldn't be that big of a hit. The Cowboys just don't really have a running back on the roster. Right. So that's another thing that's making me feel like he is going to have a pretty decent role on this Cowboys team.
He's young, Ben. I'm Austin. Let's throw it to break. We'll bring Stricky in for a crossover. Get you set up for On the Block right after this.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of your liberty in pursuit of your justice for those that have been injured. My name is Matt Knight, attorney with Liberty Law Group. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, call 877-42-LIBERTY. Our relentless trial attorneys are committed to the highest quality legal representation. At Liberty Law Group, we will fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Once again, that's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Women may be complicated, but I make sure buying jewelry isn't. Your gal has a style, and you can figure this out. Is she more of a classic necklace kind of gal, or does she rock the boho chic vibe with layers of delicate bracelets? This is crucial intel. Not trusting your intel? Stop in the store and we'll sort out the details. I promise to make this super easy. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Tune in every Wednesday night from 9 to 10 p.m. for the Malone Radio Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Don't miss the opportunity to learn about the Malone Community Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln and the surrounding area. It's the Malone Radio Show with Executive Director John Goodwin and Sports Director Mike Hunter every Wednesday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Far too many kids in our community face extreme challenges due to homelessness, abuse, and neglect. Despite the troubles these kids face, we believe in them. Believe in giving them the safety and stability they deserve. Your gift on Give to Lincoln Day will help us provide services to meet kids where they're at, while also showing them how far they can go. Please make your gift to Cedars on Give to Lincoln Day.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day. It'll be breezy too with an afternoon high around 74. Tonight, showers and storms are likely with a low around 48. And tomorrow, a few lingering showers and storms in the morning, then partly sunny skies for the afternoon with a high around 64. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road. Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Load up on meat and more this spring at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through May 7th is buy one, get one free on New York strips, limit 4 per visit. Also $1 off all brands of honey. And don't forget about lunch on Fired Up Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hi, I'm Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised in Lancaster County, learning the value of hard work and grit at a young age. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. I know that families and businesses in our community need lower taxes, lower cost of healthcare, and a great education. That's why, as your senator, I helped pass the largest tax cut and made the most significant investment in education in Nebraska history and worked to reduce the cost of healthcare. I'm Senator Bo Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on May 14th. Paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
You guys talk about songs that you love. Is there a song that you absolutely loathe in this world?
Oh, there is, and I can't think of them right now.
I'm just picking Ozzy Osbourne song.
I despise with all my being Benny and the Jets by Elton John. I hate that song. Jersey Mike's or Chick-fil-A.
Chick is good. Jersey Mike's, I'm going to say it'd be 90.
Come on.
Bill. Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
I vomited last night.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
I literally vomited. I threw up.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
No Nick, no Rico. It's Stricken Austin Afternoons. That's right. We're out here. Welcome on, my guy. How you doing?
Good. You've been holding down the fort solo dolo, huh?
No, had Young Ben in here for a while, so appreciate him.
Young Ben on the mic, huh? That's what's up.
Young Ben got his introduction to the afternoons, and he came out the other side better for it. I don't know if this is mine to share, but Rico's out on some business. Stricky, do you remember buying your first house?
Oh, yeah.
What was that like for you?
So it was a kind of tricky process because it was a beautiful, tricky process. It was a good thing though, because I actually was living kind of in the McKinney area, uptown area of Dallas at the time. I had a nice little apartment there. And then I started looking because at this time, Plano wasn't the Plano it is today. It wasn't as big as it is today. Like Plano houses one of the largest enrollment schools, Plano East and Plano High. They're huge. I mean, other than Allen, they're really big schools, like over 5,000-6,000 something, 6,000-7,000 kids. It wasn't that, right? So if I can kind of tell you, there's 3 north fairs. 35 goes north, the tollway takes you north, and then 75. So they're like 3 different branches that go north. So the tollway was hot because it was like, it wasn't a lot of people on it. It was cool at the time. It was a nice little inlet to get downtown. So I ended up looking in that area. And then at that point, when we were with the Mavericks, we flew out of an airport up there, which was the Addison Airport. That's where our plane was stopped. So it was good. It was real convenient, right? So I looked up there. I found a nice little house, man. And when I tell you, it was a D.R. Horton home, and it was a model home. So I go into the home. It has all the furniture. You know when you walk into a model home, it has all the furniture. It had the TV. Everything was laced. And I told them, I said, me and my dad. It was my dad. My dad was my business manager at the time, and it had a pool. So it was a C-shaped house. Had a C-shape, and it was a pool, so you could see the pool from every area. And we put like an 8-foot fence in. It didn't have it at first, just so the neighbors couldn't be all, there was tricky times. So nonetheless, man, check it. I go in and I'm talking to the people, my dad and I, and we say, hey, look, we'll take the place, but we want you to leave everything in it. All the dishes, all the, the accents, the paintings, the TV, just leave everything. And they were like, nah, it's a model. We still got some houses we need to sell. And we was like, okay. And we walked out. We were driving down the street, and I want to say we were going to look at some other places. Less than 30 minutes, they called us back and they're like, okay, we'll do it. So I said, okay, well, we'll promo. And if you guys want to, let people know that we're here just to help you guys out, cool, no problem. And that was the first house that I ever bought.
That's incredible. Perfect timing, right? So much of buying a house is not just where it is at the time, but projecting where it's going to be, right? And for you, seeing Plano grow that way, you got in on the ground floor, you're established, you're there, you're the old head in the neighborhood, like you're comfortable with your spot. It's so cool to see those neighborhoods like grow out. I remember my parents, when they bought their first house, it was them and then country in the interstate. That's all that there was out there.
Yeah.
And now there's like 2 miles between them in the edge of Lincoln.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Sorry.
No. I was listening to you finish. I was like, yeah, I was just agreeing with you. Yeah.
After that, how long were you in that house? Your whole time in Dallas? Did you keep it?
So now, mind you, okay, so I just mentioned Plano. The Dallas Cowboys, their practice facilities in a place called Frisco. Frisco was non-existent.
Really?
And I remember, Frisco wasn't Frisco at all. It was nothing. There was nothing but farmland. And I used to tell my dad, I used to be like, Dad, man, we should get some land just going up here, a little bit north of here, just off this tollway, man. I think it's going to be something. And we were like, yeah, that sounds good. But the issue was, and had I known this now, this is the thing about just knowledge. Had I known this back then, I would have done it. Because there was a rule called, like you could make it like an agricultural place, which could minimize your taxes. Just having the land itself and holding the land, the property tax values are still going to be pretty extensive. But we could have put some freaking animals on it. Just put some animals on it. Could have changed the whole tax dynamic, and we could have held on to that property. And at some point, Ross Perot Jr. just started buying all that stuff up there. And I'm like, I could have sold it to him and made a mint. No, but so you asked the question about holding it. No, once I got traded to New York, it was sad because I was that's when I really, Austin, learned that professional sports is a business. You know what I'm saying? I had always played sports for the love, the passion, the enjoyment, the camaraderie. There was a lot of reasons I played the sport, and I knew I was blessed making the money, but I didn't understand the full concept of the business at that time. And Austin, it broke my heart because, you know, when you give your blood, your sweat, your tears, you know, your heart to something and you're terrible, but you can look and envision a turning of the corner. You can see that you're on your way and you're now going to get to experience the beauty of taking all those lumps, but now you're on the other side of it. And they traded me, bro. And it not just that they traded me. One, they did it outside of Don Nelson, but it was little Donnie's concept because obviously Steve Nash was who they wanted, and that's fine. But and I get it. But what was hurtful is that I'm sitting in Don Nelson's office and we're talking about, you know, exit meetings from the year, and we're just talking about the future. And he's like, you know, we want you here. You know, I had some years left on my contract, and you know, we want you to be a continual part of what we're doing here in Dallas. And I'm like, cool. So they send me up to a draft party. It was it was similar to Wings and Rings. It was just like a little sports bar. It was a little sports bar. We're in there. We're watching the draft. I'm on the mic, and we're talking about the draft picks and what's coming up. And then I get a call from my agent, and he says, "You need to get out of there, like right now. You need to leave." And I'm like, "What's up? I mean, what? Why?" He's like, "Man, you're about to be traded." Like it was about to go on screen.
Oh.
So I had to bolt up out of there, man, go get a few bags and get ready to head to New York. So it was hurtful, man. It was hurtful because you had that close call and that meeting, and then all of a sudden you felt like you was lied to. On top of that, they win 50 games the next year, and you don't get to be a part of that. So it was hurtful.
Man, what if I told you John Calipari's house was for sale? How much do you think it would be up for sale for in Lexington, Kentucky?
$1.8 million.
More.
$3.5 million.
Very close. 3.8.
I almost said 3.8. I almost said it. I just said, I think Austin trying to trick me into something. Let me go a little bit lower. Okay.
Mm-hmm. When have I ever tried to trick you, Stricky? I am a straight shooter. I am honest. I'm on the level. You know that.
Tuesdays and Thursdays. Every Tuesday and Thursday.
Cap. I will take my cap off because that's what you are doing. It is off. Stop the cap right there.
Oh man. Yeah, all good. All good. No, you don't, man. You're very fair. You're a very fair man, and I always appreciate that part of you.
Last thing then, before we get to our show on the block here in just a minute, you ever drive past your old house in Plano?
I actually do. I got a good friend of mine named Rick Riley, and so we'll be joking because we'll talk about just some of the fun stuff. And this is the thing I always talk about is glad I didn't have Instagram and Facebook Live, because there would be times when we would have these wonderful parties and just they would start off as barbecues or whatever. Me and my boy Jay Stebbin, you've met Jay Stebbin. Mm-hmm. He now coaches at
Hunt, right?
College. And no, he's at Independence. He's an Independence.
Right, Indy, yep.
So you know, Jay, when we wake up on a Sunday or something, he'd be like, "Yo, let's fire up the grill." And so Rick was a good friend of mine and from Omaha and so forth and so on. And Rick would say 3927 Belton. And it would bring back all the memories because that was the location. So a couple times I drive by there and it looks the same. It still looks good. Kind of wish I would have held on to that house. It was a nice little house, man. It was a good starter house.
That's awesome. We'll turn the page here to On the Block. You basically just got a free segment of On the Block here during the happy
hour. The pool was active.
Active, you say?
The pool was active.
Noted. We will keep talking NBA. There's a lot to get to, Strick. We'll talk the Phoenix Suns. Their GM said 26 teams would trade places with them. Do we think that's true? Okay. The Lakers officially fired Darvin Ham. Do they give LeBron a say in the next head coach to try to keep him around? Or do they call his bluff and let him walk? We'll get into that. The Eastern Conference playoffs just have one series left. We'll get into that. Of course, your Mavs taking on the Clippers tonight. And
Rico's happy. Rico's happy.
So, Rick, we spent the whole first half an hour of the show talking Knicks. So we'll talk a little bit more, but Rico's out of here. And so are we for just a minute. Don't go anywhere. You've been listening to the Happy Hour on 93.7. The Ticket on the block. Me and Strick comes your way next.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth.